Good morning, my friends. This is Elaine, your RN in the garden. Today, I'm gonna take my stab at creating a topiary. I got these two plants. So this is one of them. It is a dwarf Alberta spruce, Hanukkah. It says it would grow 6 to 8 feet tall. It's hardy down to zone -30, and we're to space them at least 36 inches. The plan for this would be to put it at the bottom of my steps, close to that curb appeal. I was looking at it, I was thinking 2 balls, just like one down here, one up here. But I like the way this little part looked, and I don't know if I would be able to get like 3 balls out of it. Maybe I'm just asking for too much. I have never done one. The topiaries I have, they were bought like that. The spirals. I love topiary, and I have the cloud, or I call it the pom-pom. Those were purchased just like that. I'll take the chance and clip it a little, get it back in shape, but I didn't actually create it. My plan today is to determine if this is gonna be a 2 or 3. I don't know if I can get that. I would like to have it a 3 because I like the way this little part looks, like a little, soccer ball just sitting on top. So that's the plan. Let's see if that can be realized today. I think I'm going to try to get it into a 3-ball topiary, because if I'm going to do 2, I'm kind of have to chop the top down a little bit to get it for the ball shape. So I think I'm going to go for the 3. So like this little part here would be the top, and this would be the middle, and then the rest of it would be. So I'm going to try for 3. First we gotta create the sections, and these smell nice. Oh my goodness, it's a nice fresh smell. I don't know how this is gonna turn out. It's like stabbing in the dark, but I have a couple topiaries. So we'll just go off the general look. All I'm doing right now is creating that space between the balls. I'm getting rid of the branches that are in that space. And by no means this will be a fast chop. It's gonna be turning, looking, more turning, stepping back, and see the shape evolve. This does smell real good. sometimes you have to move the branches a little bit, maybe up or down. I was tempted to chop this big one off, but if I do, it's going to take a nice chunk out of that, but we'll leave that for later. What I'll do is take some of the branches that are pointing down, maybe to see the wheel. I think you could see where I'm trying to go. This part would be another one. This is a lower branch. And you could see if I took that off, and this looks a bit, I don't know. I want that. So maybe if we chop the edge a little bit, we could start to see that ball. And conifer has the tendency to have that little sap. I'm going to get some water that I can periodically wash this off in. So I can see that first ball materializing. Doing this quite slowly and gingerly. I am going to create the other space for the other tier. Was really a good chunk, and it created a opening. So this would be my other level. I'm going to get rid of this one to get this clearing here, so I think this one's got to go. the whole branch, but this top section. And anything that's pointing up. Take a little bit of that off. So we're continuing to separate these balls. And if you could see where this one is growing up, so that's definitely not gonna work. There's some little dead branches on the inside. You just clean those up. So we want a nice clean spot like this to differentiate between the levels. You know, that one is kind of in the way. So definitely these two. So we're trying to clear this. So definitely that one is gonna go. See, it's getting a little misshapen, but this is not going to be perfect the first time around. Some of it will have to grow in. Look a little wonky, I tell you. This definitely will have to go as well. It's on that same level. What we'll do is trim some of these branches that are pointing down because we don't want it to go into. Separate. Maybe I could do a bit of a bonsai trick and wire this downwards to get that separation that I'm looking for. So anything that's pointing down is definitely not going to work. When you get to two balls that we're trying to find a separation, anything that's going down from the top would go, and anything from the bottom that's going up would go, because you want to separate them. So sometimes it's not removing an entire branch, but the little outliers that are sticking out. I can start to see three levels. I can see that one, I can see this one, and I can see this. This, I'm still playing with it. And guess what? I do think it can go. The tree won't be that misshapen. I think I can take this one off. See how it opens it up some more? And then I can remove these little tiny branches that are really not before I do anything. And I can see that separation there. This I'm playing with because there's nothing much here. I will have to wait until all this has grown out. So I'm just cleaning up the trunk. So this I don't want to take it off really. I say sometimes it's what's sticking up because we're trying to establish a shape for this. This one is kind of pointing up, but we also have this. And I think when we start to kind of clip to form, you know, that ball going up, we should these are not the perfect shears. These are my pruning shears to deadhead plants and all that, but this is what I have for now. And that larger shear, which is definitely not going to work. So I might be able to take that one off, create more opening. This is a branch with a little piece on it, so that can go. We have truly cleared the top. So this, I can probably just snap that off right there. This is pointing up, I take that off. And that's pointing down, definitely no. And this one, take a little piece of that. So you could start to see my ball. And if I'm ambitious enough, I could actually take that off. That looks pretty nice as well. Oh, but there's more back here that if I do, so I'll let that stay for now. There's this bottom one that's a little bit wonky. Even though it's not finished, I am actually proud of myself for attempting a topiary. Let me step back and see what it's looking like. And you kind of have to do that periodically to get, when you're close up, sometimes you can't really see the actual shape. And looking from it from this end, I realized something needs to go within this little pocket. And it's something right here. Chop a little of that off. Take the tops off. See if we can work on our separation. It's a little bit bushy in this area. And this one is pointing down. It's a little misshapen, but hopefully one of these can kind of grow out and fill it. I don't want to take too much off and then it's all misshapen. I think we can lose that. Expose the trunk some more. Cleaned up a tad. We're getting there. So I can start to see my three levels. So this is still looking a little I think this one is a bit fuller because I have like 3 branches sitting here, and this would be a nice, the bottom, probably when it grows I'll get a little bit more trunk down from the surface of the soil, but you still want to see the distinction between these 2 balls. And if I take these off, it's going to be grossly misshapen. This one is up a little bit. I really don't want to take this off because then there's nothing in here to fill. These are just dead branches. Just have to clean it up. Who knows, we might be able to sprout some new branches in there to help to fill it. So there's always going to be some diebacks, a little bit of dead areas here and there. So just go ahead and get those off. Clean it up. So if there's anything dead or damaged, just get rid of those. Okay, still working on my separation. Can you start to see 3-tier topiary? I can. I'm just a little stingy in taking some of these branches off. And the shape will evolve as you go along. I also think you get a little braver as you start chopping. That looks like it's kind of gonna grow outwards. Anything growing down, we're gonna get rid of that. And as I say, perfection is not what you're going for, because you're going to have to wait for this to grow in, fill out, and then you'll see the true beauty of the topiary. every topiary you can clip it. A ball, I think, is more forgiving if the plant is an established plant. But when you're taking it from a cone and then you're trying to do circles, it's a little different. And you can see it's a little sticky, so my pruners are behaving a little bit not what they're supposed to be. I'm going to give it a slight little wash and get those off. I've cleaned the shears. Looks a little bit better. And that stuff that gets on it, it's a little sticky. So back to our pruning. Maybe we could take that off. This is up a tad. See if we can remove that one. And as you go along, as I say, you get the courage to just whack something off if it does not align with what you're trying to create. And you're thinking about those balls, so you start to get it in that shape. Oh, this smells so good. That's a nice pine smell to it. You hear my little bird? Of course he's in my tree, but I am out here on the terrace and it thinks that I am in its space. Can you believe that? So that's what all that chirping is about. I'm too close. Probably has laid an egg or something in the nest it has made in the blue spruce tree. And now I'm too near to it. So it's just not having it. With me being this close. Can you start to see that shape yet? Because I definitely can. I mean, the two top tiers are looking quite nice. Start thinking about those. Maybe whack them off. Why not? Let's get brave. Chop that off. Chop that off. Open it up some more. Off you go. Proud of myself. Whacked it. Totally. Remember that ball we're trying to create? As I said, it's not gonna perfect. We got a big hole right here, but hopefully there's a tiny little branch right there, one or two, and hopefully they'll just grow out that way. So not only are you trying to have the vision and thinking about what it's gonna look like later, you have to really look and see if there's actually something that will fill in the area. You step back a little because this look a little funny. You could see, I could see if this was grown in, but this is out there. Let's take another look from a distance. Maybe I need to put something lower. It's hard to whack it off, so I'll take a piece. I guess I'm not that brave then. I'm gonna go for my pruners. When I got my shears. And sometimes this thing, here goes my noisy air conditioner. Sometimes you want longer lines than what the little cooler can give to you. So I went and got my shear. Still pressing it down. I think I can lose it because it's simple bits. Let's try to get a ball out of it. Let's get this back in view. When I'm here working by myself, I have this thing all over the place. So sometimes I'm rewatching the clip. I realize it's out of view. I'm not seeing what I'm seeing. So we took this conifer from this cone shape to this. It's not perfect, but it's a topiary. I'm actually so proud of myself. So after I've developed more bravery, I might come on in and maybe do something there. But for now, I can see all three tiers. This is going to be one ball. This is going to be the second, and that will be the third. So its little friend over there, I will go chopping on it another day. But I'm happy that we could have done this today. I hope you're feeling satisfied, given it's the first one, as I am. And I hope you'll develop the courage to go chopping on a conifer, turning it into a topiary. It's not perfect, as I say, it's a work in progress, because this area, there was a branch right here, but it was more up, and to create that space between to expose the trunk, I had to chop it off. So there's a space here. Hopefully like this branch will grow over there, this one will fill in, this one will go up. So we'll just have to wait. And there's some tiny little branches here. So we'll give those time to grow in, but we'll go ahead and enjoy it. I might also come back in and do a little shaping right there. We still have a spot here, but as I say, it's a work in progress, and some things will just have to grow out and fill in. But I am happy. I hope you're happy spending the time with me today, chopping this plant and turning it into a topiary. Thank you so much for being here with me today. I hope you enjoy this, and as I said, I hope I motivated you to go clipping on a plant, turning it into a topiary. And until then, please take care of yourself. Until I see you next time, have a wonderful day. Thank you.